Francesca Scorsese has never pretended life in Hollywood is an even playing field, and now, she's openly acknowledging what many already suspected. In a refreshingly candid moment, the rising filmmaker admitted that her latest directing opportunity with Fox Nation came with a little help from her legendary father, Martin Scorsese. And instead of dodging the obvious, she's boldly embracing the truth that her last name opened doors. The 24-year-old daughter of one of the greatest directors of all time is stepping into her own creative lane, but she isn't pretending she did it entirely on her own. "I'm not going to deny anything," she admitted, making it clear that while she's grateful for her father's guidance, she plans on earning every bit of respect through her own work. Her honesty has stirred up a fresh round of conversation about nepotism, opportunity, and legacy within the entertainment industry. But beneath the headlines lies a deeper, more compelling story, one about a young woman navigating immense expectations while carving out her own identity behind the camera. A transparent admission in a Nepo baby era. Hollywood has been consumed with the Nepo baby debate for the past few years. Young actors, directors, and influencers born into entertainment royalty are often scrutinized, praised, and criticized in equal measure. Some push back against the label, some deny their advantages, and others, like Francesca, confront it head-on with disarming honesty. In a recent interview, she was asked about her involvement in the Fox Nation project and whether her father played a role in her landing the job. Many expected a diplomatic, no comment, or a carefully crafted deflection. Instead, she leaned into full transparency. "Yes, my dad helped. Yes, I'm grateful. No, I'm not pretending otherwise," she said bluntly. But she quickly clarified that the opportunity doesn't mean her journey is easy. In fact, being Martin Scorsese's daughter brings more pressure, not less. "When your last name is Scorsese, the expectations are outrageous," she explained. "People don't want you to be good, they want you to be exceptional. People want you to be your father all over again." And that's precisely the impossible standard she's learning to navigate. The Fox Nation Project. A new direction for Francesca. Francesca's directorial work for Fox Nation is part of a growing portfolio that showcases her love for storytelling and her desire to build a career independent of her father's filmography. The project itself is a short-form docu-style piece, part of a series that spotlights young filmmakers and emerging voices. While some critics were quick to attack the platform choice, Fox Nation being polarizing for many, Francesca's focus remains squarely on the work. "I don't pick projects for politics. I pick them for the chance to learn," she said. "This was an opportunity to challenge myself and do something outside the bubble people expect me to stay in." Behind the scenes, those who worked with her described her as dedicated, precise, and surprisingly fearless for someone just a few steps into her professional journey. She reportedly spent long nights refining edits, rewriting interviews, and pushing for more emotional depth, a Scorsese signature whether intentional or inherited. And yes, people on set whispered about her father. How could they not? One crew member confessed, "Every time she'd give a note, I kept hearing her father in my head." The intensity, the passion, it's definitely in her DNA. Growing up Scorsese, a childhood in cinema. Francesca was practically raised on film sets. From watching her father direct Oscar-winning masterpieces to meeting Hollywood giants like Leonardo DiCaprio and Robert De Niro before she even understood their level of fame, cinema has always been the backdrop of her life. But despite the glamorous environment, Francesca describes her upbringing as surprisingly grounded. Martin Scorsese, known for his meticulous and intense work ethic, is also famously gentle and supportive with his family. She once shared stories of how her father encouraged her artistic passions from a young age, whether through journaling, photography, or small creative projects. He didn't push her toward directing, she found her way there naturally. But still, being the daughter of Martin Scorsese isn't simple. She carries the weight of legacy, comparisons, expectations, and the constant scrutiny of those eager to see whether she sinks or swims under the name she carries. "My dad never asked me to follow him," she explained. "But he always told me, if you choose art, you have to honor it. You have to work harder than everyone else." And so she does. The nepotism debate. Francesca's perspective. While many children of Hollywood's elite go on the defensive when questioned about their privilege, Francesca approaches the topic with a blend of humility and realism. "I was born with access," she stated plainly. "I have connections. I have privilege. The only thing I can do is acknowledge it and then prove that I'm worthy of the opportunities I get." She believes the conversation around nepotism needs nuance, not denial. "It's unfair," She argues, to claim that talent doesn't matter for nepo babies, but it's equally unfair to pretend they don't have advantages. Yes, we get opportunities quicker, she said. But we also get judged harsher. The door opens for us, but once we walk through, we have to convince people to let us stay. Her mindset is refreshingly self-aware and disarming in a landscape where so many public figures try to rewrite their origin stories. Martin Scorsese's role: supportive, not controlling. Insiders say Martin Scorsese has been nothing but supportive of Francesca's ambitions. He doesn't micromanage her choices, nor does he aggressively push her into the industry. Instead, he's a sounding board, a legendary mentor who just happens to be her father. Francesca reportedly shows him cuts of her work, asks for feedback, and studies his filmmaking techniques with equal parts admiration and rigor. But she's equally determined not to become a carbon copy of him. Her style leans more toward personal storytelling, character-driven emotional arcs, and subtle social commentary, a modern, youthful lens on the world. One producer who has followed her work described her vision as empathetic, sharp, and distinctly her own. And Martin, he's proud, deeply proud, but he keeps his distance enough to make sure her voice can emerge. Industry response: praise, criticism, and curiosity. Hollywood insiders have responded with a mix of admiration and skepticism, the standard cocktail for any rising nepo baby. Some praise her transparency and talent. Others dismiss her as another Hollywood kid who got lucky. A handful of critics argue that her choice to work with Fox Nation might overshadow her artistic message. But regardless of the noise, one thing is clear: people are watching her. And she knows it. The buzz surrounding her Fox Nation project has only amplified curiosity about her next move: a short film, a documentary, perhaps even a feature one day. And while her father's influence certainly opened doors, they won't keep her inside the room unless she delivers. A young filmmaker ready to build her own legacy. Francesca Scorsese may have inherited a famous name, priceless access, and a legendary mentor. But what she does with those privileges is entirely in her hands, and for now, she is facing the spotlight with rare honesty. By acknowledging the leg up she received, she's disarming her critics and resetting the narrative. She isn't hiding from nepotism, she's using transparency as her shield while letting her work speak for itself. In an industry built on illusion, Francesca's openness feels almost rebellious. And as she continues shaping her creative identity, she's proving that the next generation of filmmakers don't need to run from their roots. They just need to rise above them. And Francesca Scorsese, confident, unfiltered, and undeniably talented, seems ready to do exactly that.